It's been 4 years, I know. Organize my funeral, kill me for being gone for so long. When I started this channel, the idea was I'm gonna be very consistent, and clearly I suck at consistency. Is consistency a word? Kind of sounds like contingency, which is something I did in mathematics, I think. I was horrible at mathematics, so that's probably something that does not belong in mathematics. Maybe it was contingency. Anyway, hi guys, welcome back to my channel. 4 years later, excuse, I don't know what to say. Life has been, being an adult is such a scam. Well, that's my school, we always had this thing of, I can't wait to grow up, man, at 25, I'll have all the money in the world with 5 kids and a beautiful husband. Anyway, this is just one of my beautiful pieces that I wanted to share with you guys. It's basically, it explains why I've been gone for so long. It really does. And I'm hoping this time that I get people that actually understand the things that I write. When I started writing back in, I think 2011, 2012, somewhere there, people were like, Standa, you're really good at what you do, but we don't know what you're talking about. We can't really understand, but we're behind you. And I think that's when I also realized that I'm playing along the lines of Shakespeare. You don't really get it unless you're also a writer and you know how to read between the lines. I gave myself a nickname, Shakespeare the Legacy. Shakespeare the Legacy, sorry, I got distracted. And it stuck with me, I guess, because that's still my writing style. So in this poem, we are just covering me being just a girl. A lot of people misunderstand me. There's a lot of misconception around my character and overall personality, which kind of sucks. I think I'm a cool person, but people just don't get it. Anyway, so it's not really easy for people to see past that. I do talk about the anger here as well. I talk about how there are certain instructions that I get, sometimes from the Bible, sometimes from society, sometimes from myself. I get a little too excited in being hard on myself. It further goes on to speak about my personality again. We're addressing how I used to love pink. I was a very bubbly person at some point, so I used to love pink. My entire bedroom was pink. But now I've turned into this dark soul, so I'm more of a black person because of the tears that I've cried. I love brown because of my skin color, and it's also something that feels kind of safe for me. Hence, if you check my YouTube channel, most of the things there, the aesthetics, everything is just brown, plays along the lines of being brown. And silver green is more of a fancy. I was trying to play along the lines of slippery affairs. I was thinking about Cinderella and the Lost Slipper. So I am rambling. I just want you guys to understand what I'm writing about, because what's the point of putting art out there that people don't really know how to dissect anyway? I speak about a habit that I have. I'm still working on it. I'm 4 months with my nails, but then if I don't have artificial nails on, I bite on my nails. Fuck me. So I speak about that as well, and this is a question to people that knew me back then. Did you guys realize? Do you think it was just a habit, or because I'm just a quiet person? So when you're an awkward person and you don't know how to really, socially incompatible with everyone around you. I heard a sound. Or is it moods? It depends on, maybe I'm sad and then that's when I start biting my nails, or is it just something that tastes nice? Hence I use the word palette. And then it goes on to speak about, I I tried polluting the air, which is something related to another bad habit that I had. I don't want to say it out loud, I'm embarrassed, but I've stopped. It's been months, thank God. I've been clean for months. But then, yeah, I used to smoke. So I speak about that and how it would turn into a pile of I'm not proud of that, honestly. Life happened and I needed a way to survive. And then, I do say that it works for a little bit, but then it doesn't really, because I know a salvage therapeutic, it's being a medical student, so hepatic, those are our words. It speaks about the liver. So you salvage the hepatic, meaning I save my liver from what I did to my lungs, the same impact, because it's difficult for me, the after effects of alcohol. I don't like how it makes me feel, and I usually pray, not usually, but when I'm too drunk, like I'll pray to God, like, God, I'm not gonna do it again, as though it's like a magic spell. Like I've never heard of medical belts, meaning as though I don't know how it works biologically. Like you can't just ask God to get it out of you. It doesn't work like that. And then I speak about how I've always been forced to like apologize to people when I didn't really do anything, and I've been blamed for things that were not my fault. So here I'm like, nope, I am not apologizing for nothing, because I felt like I was just rambling in this poem again. So I was like, hey, this is my art. If you don't want to be here and you feel like I'm rambling, you leave. This is my space. And I speak about how I'm allergic to pineapple. I'm allergic to fruit. I'm fructose intolerant. Fructose malabsorbent. I just discovered that that's another way of saying it. I had a reddish head once. My ex took it back because I cheated on him. And then I used to cuddle him to sleep after chemistry. So how we used to abbreviate our modules at the University of Pretoria, CMY was chemistry, and it was my worst module. My worst. I struggled. I barely survived. So I used to cuddle that reddish teddy. It wasn't really red, but I know with white people, when they describe red hair, it's not really red, but like that color, man. So my teddy bear was the same as that. I wish I had a picture, but I don't have time for that. So I would vent to that teddy bear. But now I have Tony. I had Tony way before any of my teddy bears. But then Gamshi and Lynn at home when I went to rest. So it's only after 2-3 years of varsity that I changed my university, and then I took Tony with me. And yeah, I've had Tony for more than a decade. Like a decade is even short, because I just realized I have been out of high school for close to 10 years now. So I had Tony. Why do I keep saying Teddy? I'm looking at something. I wish I could show my face while I'm speaking. It would be so cute, but I'm shy. I had Tony when I was in 6th or 7th grade. So Tony's been there. Tony, Mina and I, we've been friends for a while. And I have a very deep connection. If I don't talk to Tony, I talk to the walls. When everything else fails, like if I can't speak to people, if food doesn't help, and that is a subtitle to a publication that failed. I had a book titled Depressed but Working on It, and the subtitle was If All Else Fails, Talk to the Walls. Talk to the walls, there's healing, something like that. Never published it. I was too young, didn't really understand publications and everything. But I had something good going on there. It was my first time designing a book cover and stuff. Okay, let me park right here. I've said my piece. I've said everything da 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 da, and then in the end it's just a cute closing line to say that I'm making coffee. Not that I can make coffee. Can't say why, but yeah. Yeah, it's just a cute way of closing, and also very artistic and poetic. So I hope you'll enjoy also Askis Ngempela to the people that have been my subscribers from day one. I know I don't have a lot of subscribers, which I really don't mind, because to me, making these videos is what makes me happy. So it's more than enough for me. But I know there are people that are like my day ones and they've been asking, it's what's happening. Even if it's just 25 people, it's more than enough. That's an audience. That's a whole class, a private school. So I'm more than happy for that. So I had to fight back, and I'm still alive. I hope you enjoy the poem and stay tuned. I want to mention, I promise, but I will try my best. I promise to try my best, but I'm not going to promise you like regular content. I'm gonna try. I promise I'm gonna try. I'm rambling. Bye. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy the poem. Maybe yellow bits give us a pinch of hope. How flavor offers dances to 40 seconds of pleasure. I'm just a girl, covered in waves of misconception that clouds the very tip of an eye. It makes me wonder, how do we fall in love with the spoon now? The pot is growling, barking to be heard. But in our flesh, we carry blood lined with conceit, anger, and blunder. It's inaccurate, but I know I'm adequate, satisfied by instructions that carve my spirit into bluish flares. Pink was my dear, black because the tears, brown I am proudly aware, and a silver green for slippery affairs. Does it ever dawn on you that my nails were crooked? Habit, quiet, moods, or a palette? Neither. Maybe the tertiary and dissolved expression, but mostly just a cocktail of unpleasant notions. Wait, I'm rambling, this is ready. I'm trying to find a serene way to explain the ruffles, the manners, the yav, the uninvited urge to bellow. I tried polluting the air for years now since undergrad. Works for a while, turns into a pearl every time. I salvage the apathic mostly because the act faults me. When I do it, I pray. It hurts my balance, so I say, God, never again. Release your spray as though it works as a magic spell, like I've never heard of any medical bells. I'm rambling again, pardon me. No, actually, don't. I'm awfully familiar with mea culpa. Sorry, didn't mean to, it's my fault. Force phrases. I guess I needed a release. I cannot punch, so I can only settle for a punchline. And wine. Not pine, I'm allergic. I had a reddish Ted once. Used to cuddle him to sleep or to see him why. Those were monologues, no response, clean sheets of venting space every time I felt enraged. I have Tony now. Just before our nation hosted, so over a decade. I have a connection, a confession that I talk to the walls when all else fails, subtitle to a publication that failed. Okay, let me park right here. I've said my piece. Sometimes I need a circle to deliver my thoughts, corrections, and fuck yous. This is it. This was it. Thank you for listening to me unbox all my sentiments.